what's going on here in Demon? You want to break this down?
Oh God, where do we start? So I have the same source that told me about the CD Projekt Red stuff that ended up pissing off that CEO, and then I had to expose him. That same source told me about Ghost of Yotei a lot as well, and my other source about Assassin's Creed also confirmed this. So essentially, what I'm told anyway is that Ghost of Tsushima 2 was the original game. It had Jin Sakai in it, all of that, and then within the last about 2 years, they just hard right pivoted the whole project, and they completely gutted out Jin, brought in this Atsu person, which is this lady on screen you're seeing now.
Yeah.
And, she's now the new main character. They fast forwarded the time period as well by adding guns and stuff, which is kind of whatever. What else? They were also sending me a bunch of new employees that were getting hired around this time. I don't know if that's in this article or not, but in my video about it is okay. Yeah. So a bunch of people got hired around this time that are senior writers and producers and this kind of stuff, and they all coincide being placed on Ghost of Yotei around the same period that I was told allegedly that the whole project just kind of changed. And PlayStation Japan or Sony Japan, I guess, whatever, they apparently got blindsided by this game because they were under the impression that originally it was a Ghost of Tsushima 2. So they saw that it was Yotei. They were WTF. And then when I'm told Sony's really Sony, the marketing team and stuff, they're really, really, really pissed that the response to this game has been what it has been. So,
well,
yeah,
it's funny because what they're claiming the place, the whole setting for the game, there was nothing literally happening. They were trading, the Japanese were trading with the natives in the Northern Islands. So, is this her role? She's going to go up and hi, let's trade. Yay. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, what I'm told is that originally, you see in the trailer, you see how she's being hunted by Ronin. Apparently that was supposed to be original plot point for Jin Sakai.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be, the ghost, and then
that would make sense.
By Ronin. Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah. The Mongols would put a bounty on his head.
Yeah.
And then these Japanese Ronin that don't give a shit about Japan, obviously, are I'll go kill him for the money. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to hunt them down. What I was told by a certain source about this game is that the ending is going to piss off a lot of people, but they wouldn't go further than that because they didn't have 100% info on what the ending was going to be. So in one of my videos that I talked about this, I just theorized what it could be as an ending that pissed people off. And the only ending that I can come to the conclusion of is that they're going to kill off Jin Sakai. And I would not be surprised.
Wait, how would he be? Isn't this 300 years after
it's the year 16?
300 years.
Yeah, right after the massive strife that happened, and then the Tokugawa shogunate takes over, and it's the warring states are done. It's just chilling out period, and Japan is just closed off to the world. So I don't know what they're going to be able to do here.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. This game was not original what they're supposed to do. Also, what I heard about the game is that if the reception does not get better sooner rather than later, they are going to allegedly, again, not 100%, but this is all in flux. But what I'm hearing is that this game might become your Miles Morales to your Spider-Man 2. So smaller, cheaper, that kind of thing.
Shit up.
Yeah, so that they can be don't worry, guys, it's not Ghost of Tsushima.
It's not canon.
It's a spin-off or something. You know what I mean? So it's not as heavily, I guess, disdained. But I just, man, when I first saw this trailer, my comments on this, pretty much just blew up. The internet got really mad at what I said about it, but it's fine.
Well, you couldn't have got a worse person to base this character on. The voice actress that or the voice them. I think
non-binary.
Yeah, Eric
is the most is a very for even, and I've seen a lot of voice actors. This one is very, very, very far left, very hardcore activism, and it's
fun fact.
Right after this game came out,
she plays Rook in Veilguard. The more you know.
Oh, wait, sorry. I see somebody asking for my take. My take is if you've seen the leak for Wolverine, and you knew that they wanted to make him an old man by the end of that game, you already know how these PlayStation games are going to roll out. You guys have faith, and I respect that.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
You mean old man at the end of that game?
Yeah, they're done with him. He's had a game already, just like Spider-Man. So let's just sweep that on out, make way for these women, and you guys will all be happy because you're gay, right?
Hold up. I didn't read the leaks for Wolverine.
Yeah,
so
I didn't either.
To, not know, but
they're
gonna kill him off pretty much.
I'm sure things will change with the right amount of backlash, just like we're seeing with this Yotei garbage. We should thank the journalists for making such a big noise about it, because even though people like me, who are probably the biggest critics about these gaming things, would never have a problem with the fact that it's a woman, we have a fact. The problem is she's an activist, a vocal one at that. A woman screaming at a baby. That's what real gamers have an issue with. So moving forward, I can't wait to see how they try to damage control this, because all of the games are going to be like, we're marketing it for men. We like men again. You're straight now. But actually, it's going to be crap.
Like, you can do, like, it can be done. Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is fantastic.
Nintendo.
And at no point during that game did I feel like they were disrespecting Link.
You know what Nintendo cares about? Their brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it's spoilers, so I don't know if anyone's beat it, but at the end,
it's Zelda. Go ahead.
At the end, when you finally find Link, you team up with him, and you actually fight the final villain with him as Zelda. Like, so he gets his sword back, and he's slashing at him, and you're helping. It's fun, man. Like, I thought that was really nice touch. So
that's
you
what
actually
these games
beat
are
the
missing.
final boss with him, like he's right there.
That's the thing, though, is that, like, because I think Nintendo knows that they can't, what's the word? Emasculate Link, because Zelda fans will be like, what are you doing, bro?
Well, they're loyal to their
character. I'm very worried
character.
about Spider-Man 3, because Spider-Man 3, they're already laying the groundwork for Cindy Moon, who's Silk, to be in that game.
Oh God!
And it's like, great. So we're gonna have like a Spider-Man 4 maybe one day, where Peter Parker's completely out of the picture.
He's the advisor. You go to him.
Yeah, and then it's just Miles
upgrades.
and Cindy, because black guy and Asian woman, so it's more like, diverse. It's just
nobody likes Silk. It'll be such a joke, man.
The funniest part about Silk is that she's very sexual in the comics with Spider-Man. So that's not going to be an issue.
They can't stop banging.
They can't do that. So it's not going to be accurate already. Great.
Yeah. I just like the fact that you said that like Wolverine's going to be an old man by the end of the Wolverine game does not surprise me at all, because I said like such a while long ago when that game first got announced, I'm like, they're going to pull a Spider-Man. They're just going to make the first game have Wolverine. They're going to introduce X-23 at some point. I guarantee it. I mean, based on the leaks of that Wolverine game, like the main villain isn't it Mr. Sinister? Yeah, played by Troy Baker, by the way, which is like, oh God, but
God.
Why is Mr. Sinister the villain? That's
because they're probably going to use him to make X-23. That's what they're going to do, right? Because Mr. Sinister is all about the genes and whatever. Yeah. So he's going to make X-23, and then that's going to be the actual main character of the game. But you're going to buy it thinking that it's Wolverine.
That's stupid. Mr. Sinister never gave a fuck about Wolverine.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right?
Scott and
And then they're probably going to bring in X-23. She's going to be playable because we know Jean Grey's already playable. And then by the end of the first game, like you said, I guess Wolverine's old. Second game starts, you're going to be playing X-23, and then she'll be the main character. But they'll still lull you in with Wolverine to be like, look, it's Wolverine. And you're like, oh, okay, I'll buy it. And then it's not Wolverine, So
Cad in the chat says, hasn't he been alive since the Civil War? And it's true, he's old, but he still looks young. Like what they're saying is they're going to probably, I guess, burn out his healing factor and age him up. That would be my guess.
Well, yeah, because based on the leaks of the Insomniac thing, they have once they make the Wolverine game. So the next Insomniac game, if everything goes well and there's no delays, your next game is Venom. Venom has his own game coming. That's been pretty much known for a while now. I don't know if it's Eddie Brock or whatever. I have no idea.
Eddie Brock's not even. I don't even know.
Yeah, so you have Venom in 2026 allegedly. That's when it's coming out, and then probably 2027. I would assume is probably Wolverine, and then after all, and then it's Spider-Man 3. This is based on the leaks that came out, so you think things could change. And then the next game, that as far as we know, Insomniac's fourth game, like after those three, is going to be a full-blown X-Men game. because they're gonna have Jean Grey playable in Wolverine. Wolverine's playable. You'll probably have X-23 playable. I don't know who they're gonna bring else in, but that also pisses me off because then by the time you have your X-Men game, Wolverine could be dead by then, and then Laura's Wolverine instead. You know what I mean? It's just like
I wonder what an Insomniac Sweet Baby written X-Men roster looks like. Who would be on that roster?
Kamala Khan.
Yeah,
Probably
Five
probably right.
times.
Honestly, he's probably right.
Kamala. 5 times Kamala
clones.
Khan. Yep.
Kamala
multiple
definitely
man's powers.
Storm
In
the main
different
character.
colored
Storm will be
suits.
the leader, 100%.
Storm, Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue, 100%.
One
Yeah.
Riri. There's at least one Riri.
Oh my god.
He's not a mutant.
Jubilee. They'll bring in Jubilee.
I like Jubilee though.
I mean, aren't they doing that with the movies?
Yeah, but they'll destroy
They want to make the
Jubilee.
X-Men movie female-driven too.
It's still not the team that I would want, though. I mean, I would want in an ideal world I would want Nightcrawler, Colossus, Storm, Wolverine,
Iceman.
I don't Iceman. I don't,
Iceman. He's so
Cyclops.
strong. Omega.
he's too overly gay, and they would make him a gay stereotype. That's with him in the comics.
He was that gay before.
He used to be
I like-
great.
That's true, though. They'll overdo it. They will overdo it.
Yeah, I think they're going to definitely like the plan, as you can see with Insomniac. They're already laying the groundwork. I mean, Spider-Man's not even the main character anymore. It's Miles Morales.
Colossus won't
even-
be on the team because he's
Even like
Russian.
Ratchet and Clank, right? Anyone's played Ratchet and Clank were ripped
Gambit.
apart.
You have to have
The main
Gambit.
character of that game is Rivet. So,
You'd have to have Gambit on that team.
He's too white.
Maybe I like
Right.
Gambit, but my favorite team is always going to be the giant size X-Men lineup during that early Claremont run. I love that team.
He's based on that team.
No, he's on X Factor.
Oh.
Like
I
the
think you
original
want
team,
Asians
they put on
making
their
it.
own book.
I think you need Asians making it to appreciate that game. Because Insomniac's so much further gone than people realize. And, for me, the biggest issue Spider-Man 2 had was rewriting another culture's language. And they do this under the impression that, they're righteous and they're doing a service because their progressive future is, the right side of history. But everybody hates it. Everybody hates that they did this thing. And in the interviews, Brian Indahar is like, well, we went out of our way to make sure that we didn't offend anybody. And that's what Sweet Baby Inc.'s purpose is supposed to be as consultants, to mitigate outrage, when in reality, as Kim Blair would make everybody aware, they're the ones who will establish that outrage if you don't do what they want. So
Yeah.
I think even with consultants out of the picture, Sony games are getting the golf club treatment. You may not like to hear that, but wait and see. That's what separates Nintendo from Sony, is that they care about their brand, and Sony will hire a bunch of question marks to take something popular and shoehorn whatever they want to put into it. So it's not what we want. It's not who we like. It's their version of that. And hopefully the reactions that we're having now to things are severe enough that it truly puts the fear of God into shareholders, investors, and passes that savings down to those studios.
Who's
Savings
making
because they're
Marvel?
going to fire people.
Who's making Marvel Rivals? Who's that for you?
NetEase. Which
Yeah,
is like
Asians.
10%.
You like that?
Yeah.
That game actually looks pretty good. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. I might
again,
actually
playing
play
into my
it because it's
conspiracy
free to
theory.
play, right?
Yeah, it is,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, I
No
might actually-
barrier to entry.
It's just an Overwatch game, right, with Marvel characters.
That game could suck balls and it'd still give you more than you gave it because you didn't pay for it.
Yeah, we could all play this for a stream.
This is what
I'd
I'm
love
saying,
that.
man. Every single game that Tencent is backing that is made by an Eastern company has very little DEI, wokeness, whatever you want to call it, identity politics. But every game that Tencent backs that is Western made is like the worst thing you've ever seen in your life, right? Like for people that don't know, like Tencent even owns, I think it's like 13% or something like that. I could be wrong, of like Remedy, like Alan Wake and that stuff. So that's not the only one they own. They have like their fingers in so many different studios, but it just feels like, yeah, a lot of this is being, deliberately pushed on purpose, and it's very unfortunate.